Hey guys, in this video the lovely Tim is going to be taking you through the composition and the values of the United Kingdom as part of your GCSE Citizenship. There are lots of things in here that you need to remember, so over on our website there are going to be loads of multiple choice questions just waiting for you to help you revise.
It's important, especially in exams, to make sure that when talking about the UK, you're using the right terminology. It's very common for the terms you see on screen to get confused. The United Kingdom, or UK, is a sovereign nation-state. It's composed of the four smaller nations of Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and England. Great Britain, often abbreviated to GB, is the single large island on which the majority of England, Scotland, and Wales can be found. The British Isles is a geographical term and is the series of islands on which the majority of the UK is situated. I would strongly suggest in an exam, if you are unsure which of these to use, to go with UK. For nearly all the questions that you'll be asked on any of the GCSE citizenship specs, the UK is the correct terminology to use. Generally, if you're expected to refer to Great Britain or the British Isles, that will be included in a source that you're given, or it may be made clear in the question. England is by far the largest constituent nation of the UK. Its capital, London, is also the capital of the UK as a whole, and it has a population of about 56 million. The UK population altogether is about 68 million. England contains the vast majority of parliamentary constituencies in the UK. There are 650 in total, and roughly 400 to 450 are located in England. England is geographically and culturally widespread. It's much larger than Wales, Northern Ireland, and quite a bit larger than Scotland. England is increasingly urbanised and developed. However, there is increasing movement of both wealth and people to the southeast of England, leaving the north, especially rural areas of the north, quite deprived in terms of people. England is economically active. It contains the largest cities in the UK, such as Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, London, Bristol, and Newcastle, together with their varied economic activity. There are several types of industry within England. The service sector is largest, together with things like food production, some manufacturing, especially car manufacturing, and other IT-based industries. Together they make up the largest sectors of England's economy. Scotland has its capital in Edinburgh and has a population of 5.5 million. A strong sense of identity has led to repeated calls for Scottish independence. Scotland is governed by a devolved Scottish Government and Scottish Parliament, comprising MSPs or members of the Scottish Parliament, under a First Minister of Scotland. At the time of writing, that is Nicola Sturgeon. Scotland contains a moderate number of constituencies. Historically, constituencies in Scotland have been fairly well spread throughout the parties. However, in recent elections, Scotland has mostly elected either SNP members of Parliament or Labour members of Parliament. The industries of Scotland include tourism, offshore oil rigs, and agriculture. For many years, Scottish whisky was the UK's largest export to the USA. Scotland comprises economic activity which is usually thought to be ahead of its population. Scotland is therefore usually considered to be an economic asset to the UK. Another point worth noting is that the Ministry of Defence and military have a lot of activity in Scotland, especially the Navy. Wales has a population of 3.1 million and its capital in Cardiff. Wales has a disparate population, which is mostly in small urban areas, such as Cardiff and Swansea, around the coast, with large rural areas in the centre, such as Snowdonia National Park, which have limited population. Wales's industry is predominantly tourism and agriculture, especially wool, and some manufacturing, car manufacturing. Wales is governed by a devolved Welsh Assembly under a First Minister of Wales. Calls for independence, compared to in Scotland, have been more limited. While there is a Welsh Nationalist Party, the repeated demand for independence that has been seen in Scotland, which even led to an independence referendum in 2014, does not yet seem to have taken place in Wales. Northern Ireland has a population of 1.9 million and its capital is at Belfast. Historically, Northern Ireland has been divided politically and socially into Unionists and Republicans. Traditionally, it's been thought that Unionists, who favoured continued union with the United Kingdom, were Protestant, and Republicans, who favoured joining the Republic of Ireland or an independent Northern Ireland, tended to be Catholic. This division caused a violent series of conflicts known as the Irish Troubles or the Northern Irish Troubles, or simply the Troubles, from at least the 1970s through to roughly 2000. They ended in a power-sharing agreement happened at Stormont in roughly 2000, known as the Good Friday Agreement. Northern Ireland also has a devolved assembly, known as the Northern Irish Assembly, which meets at Stormont in Belfast. Northern Ireland contains a small number of constituencies, and usually elects their own Northern Irish parties, such as the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party, and the SDLP and Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin, to take an example, do not actually take their seats in the UK Parliament as they do not recognise its authority, and therefore are unoccupied. In very rare and extreme cases, they may occasionally attend to vote. Democracy is a key value of the UK. The word democracy translates out of Greek to mean demos, people, and krasi is a form of government. Citizens of the UK therefore enjoy a wide variety of democratic and civil rights. For example, a government and parliament elected by people through universal suffrage, meaning everybody over a certain age, and barring certain specific exceptions, can vote. Freedom of the press is high. They can generally print what they want as long as it's not likely or intended to cause harm or compromise national security. The ballot is secret, and after voting you have no obligation whatsoever to tell anybody, even your own family, how you voted. However, you can do if you choose. Because of this electoral system, the government is accountable to the people, who have the right and ability, every few years at an election, to throw them out of office if they're dissatisfied with how they've carried on the business of the state. Local and devolved government, both at a local level, such as county or city councils, or at a devolved level, such as a nation, for example the Scottish Parliament, are also elected. All citizens, regardless of their financial or social status, have access to the legal system. Those who can't afford their own council will be provided by legal aid. These contribute to make the UK one of the most democratic states in the world. But the rule of law is another key value in the UK, as it is in most democracies. What this means is that in the UK, the law is sovereign. Nobody is above the law, and the same laws apply to everybody, regardless of your wealth or status. There are some examples of how the rule of law affects life in the UK. Everybody gets trial by jury. You cannot be imprisoned in the UK without first being found guilty by a jury of your peers, randomly selected, in a fair trial. For everybody in the UK, regardless of the crime you are accused of, there is a presumption of your innocence. What this means is that until it is proven beyond reasonable doubt to a jury that you are guilty of the crime of which you are accused, you are considered innocent. You cannot be convicted of a crime without it being absolutely proved that you did it. Everybody has access to legal advice, either through hiring their own solicitor or through legal aid. Solicitors to provide free advice to people having been arrested are available in police stations. Everybody has the right to be represented, both in civil and criminal cases, whether it is in a matter of employment, for example, where you have the right to a trade union representative, or in court where you have the right to a solicitor or lawyer. Everybody has a right to be represented. The law is applied equally to everybody. While there is some discretion from the Crown Prosecution Service or the police force, the law applies to everybody. There is due process and procedure. Anybody involved in the law in the UK, either in a professional capacity, as a victim, or as an accused, knows that a due process and procedure will be followed. They know the steps that will be taken, they know what is expected of them, and they know what the possible outcomes are. The UK has a tolerant and open society. This society is secular, meaning there is no official state religion, and religion has no involvement in the government or running or law of the country. The UK is a free country, with a society founded on the tolerance of others and respect for diversity. Values such as freedom of speech, the right to say what you want as long as it's not likely and or intended to cause harm. Freedom of religion, you can choose your own religion. No matter how abhorrent it is to others, if you follow a religion they disagree with, it is up to you which religion you follow, and the state will have no business in trying to instruct you in religion. Everybody has the right to a private life and the right to privacy. Even those in the public eye, there is a limit to how much the press can intrude. Everybody has the right to private mail and communications. However, this right can be overridden to an extent for matters of national security and preventing crime. The UK has extremely progressive laws on employment, LGBTQ+ rights, and other social issues.
Ouch! This is why in some videos I have unexplained scratches.